Hi everyone, it's Monica here from Mon's Stamping Corner. Thank you for joining me today. Today's card is an Easter card. I've used the stamp set from the Occasions catalogue, Sweet Little Something, with 3 little rabbit stamps there. That's on page 40, which is just here. This is great for a baby card and also obviously for the Easter card. This ends on the 31st of March, so if there's anything in this catalogue that you want, you've got a couple more days to be able to order it. So I'll just pop that aside. So what you will need for this little project is, of course, the Sweet Little Something stamp set, some Calypso Coral Ombre ribbon, about 7 inches will do the bow nicely. Let's pop that aside. I used Flirty Flamingo cardstock. I used the Painted with Love DSP. And I like to do inserts in my cards, so I've got some Whisper White, which that measures at 5.5 by 4. Your Painted with Love is also 5.5 by 4 inches across. Then you will need some Whisper White to stamp the little bunny on, and then you'll need just some scrap Dazzling diamonds and some gold glitter paper. So I use the banner framelets. They have retired, but you can get them now in the clearance section for $27, I believe. I use the biggest one for my rabbit here. And for the little banners, I just use the little itty bitty one here. If you don't have the banners, that's fine. You can easily do them by hand. The biggest one here measures 5 inches by 2 3/4, and the little one is 2 inches by 3/4 of an inch. But I do like using my banners, so you can make lots of greetings with them for Christmas, for birthday parties, so they do come in quite handy. So I'm just going to put those aside. I'll go through the ink colours. There's 3 ink colours that I've chosen to use. The first one is Powder Pink. The second one is Blushing Bride. And the third one is Flirty Flamingo. So we'll be doing the rabbits in those 3 colours. So to start off with, I always use my foam stamping mat with the polymer stamps. You get a nice crisp image. We'll be using one of the Whisper White papers. They're all pretty much the same size. So the first one, I'll be using Powder Pink. I like to bring my ink pad to the stamps. I find I get a bit of coverage doing it that way. And I stamp him roughly in the middle so that you've got room to cut the banner out and also with your little Easter greeting. Let's pop that there. And the second one, I'm using Blushing Bride. Again, taking my ink pad. For smaller stamps, I don't, but for the bigger ones, I just find it easy. I can see that I get a good coverage on it. Now, to line this up, you'll see that the little rabbit's got the 2 leeks, and there's a gap there. I lined that gap up with this here. So I'll try not to get my head in the way. And line him up. Give him a bit of a press. There we go. And then for the third one is Flirty Flamingo. A bit of ink. And again, lining him up with the bottom of the legs. There we go. Now, it's a bit hard. Some people find it a little bit hard telling which goes first. I always do the one that has not much detail at all. That's my first one. I go light, medium, dark. So I'll always put my lightest ink on the pretty much of a flat surface. The second and third one here, you can tell the middle one here doesn't have quite as much detail, doesn't quite stand out as much. So this one I would have for my medium. And then this one here, which gives it that fluffy look, I call it a fluffy look, is the third one. if you don't think you'll remember it when you get your stamp pad, when you get your stamps, you can just always mark it on there and it'll make it easier for you to remember. Now with the greeting, the Happy Easter, I used Flirty Flamingo. Yes, I did. And I'll just pop that up there. I've already cut one out, so it saves me having to go to the big shop machine. So you either hand cut it or use the framelits. So that one's done. So we now just have to assemble the card. I'm a Tombow girl, so I like to use my Tombow. The tape runners and I don't really get along too well. I end up sticking everything to it or sticking it on crooked, so I've learnt to live with the Tombow, and I love the Tombow glue. Everything stays, doesn't go anywhere, and it gives you that little bit of wiggle room to get everything straight. With the Easter Bunny, I put him up on dimensionals. And I'm pretty generous with my dimensionals. I don't like my cards to fall apart, so I put a lot on. And I'm not too sure, I think they're all sticking to me more than the card. Here we go. I think what's happened is I've taken some of the protective tops off, so they've stuck together. There we go, done. So Easter's come around really fast. Oh, and daylight savings finishes too. So we get that. It'll be a little bit lighter at least in the mornings, which I'm happy about because I do get up pretty early. And of course, the week after Easter, I'm off to Sydney with my husband on stage, and I'm super excited. I can't wait. I never miss. So we're staying there for a few extra days, having a little bit of a break. I'm nearly done taking these off. One more to go. There we go. And I just off-centre that a little bit. Put that down. I just need to get our little banners. You just need to put some glue, a little bit of glue on the right hand side, because that's the only part that'll be sticking to your card. Pop that there. And with the gold, I put a couple of dimensionals on that. Two's enough for that one. And I'll just slide that in underneath, just a little bit lower. Now for the bow. I used to be terrible at tying bows. I had to get my mum to show me how to do the bows and watch numerous YouTube videos. Now I can do them in my sleep. And I actually enjoy doing bows. I like doing them. But if anyone wants to know how to do them, wants a tutorial, just let me know and I'll be happy to do that. I'm just going to trim the edges off a little bit. I'm not too sure if I gave you the dimensions. About 7 inches of ribbon is all you need. For my bows to stick them on, Tombow glue is really great, but it takes a while to dry. So what I do is I put a glue dot on it and then a little bit of Tombow glue, and the glue dot will hold it in place until the glue's dried, and then your bow shouldn't come off. Pop that up in the corner. If you want to make your bow a little bit smaller, you just hold the middle there. Just pull the tails slightly, like that. Won't wreck. And now we'll put a few little jewels on there. I always put uneven numbers. Most of you probably know that. 3, 5, 9. Just a little bit more pleasing to the eye, having it uneven. You can also colour your diamantes with the blended markers. I've got a Calypso Coral and I use the brush end. and just go over that. Just gives it a bit of a tinge, and let it dry. Because I've smudged a few cards by not letting it dry. Okay, so the front of the card is already done. So we just have to do the inside. So I'm just bringing my mat back. I'm using the Flirty Flamingo for my greeting. So happy Easter. Just take that off and I'll put the hip hop hooray. Just off center that a little bit. There we go. And the flowers, which I've stamped on the inside of that card, are just these two little flowers here, and I've just popped them on the one stamp. I'm using the two colours, Flirty Flamingo and Blushing Bride. I've already got that open. So just stamp that aside. I'm just stamping off because the colours are so close together, it's not going to really wreck the ink pad with the colours. I wouldn't do it if it was like navy blue or red, something like that. But because these are such light colours, you can get away with it. And one more pink. Okay, see the inside of your card's done. What I need to do now is bring our card back and put that inside. Let's pop that on the inside. And there we have it. Card done. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back here next week with another card. I hope you all have a lovely Easter, and thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon.